Hey, welcome to another episode of Flamingo Chef, and today we're going to be talking steak. Not just any steak, mind you, but the king of steaks, the Tomahawk. Look at the size of that thing. That's over 3 pounds of meat. This is the caveman version of a steak, and I'm going to show you the right way to do it. Now I'm going to be cooking this on a pellet grill today. If you don't have a pellet grill, you can do this on a gas grill, you can do it on a charcoal grill, you can even do it on a smoker. The thing to remember is when I'm doing it on the pellet grill, we're going to be able to get that deep wood seasoning, and at the same time we're going to be able to reverse sear it and get that nice charring on the outside of the steak. Let's talk about how to prepare your steak first. Okay, so this is a prime ribeye. It's bone in, it's the entire cut. This is just over 3 pounds of steak. Now, living in Wichita, Kansas is beef country, and we know how to do steak. And I'm going to tell you, everybody has different ideas, but I'm a firm believer this piece of meat only needs 2 things: salt and pepper. If you go crazy with a bunch of seasonings, what you're going to do is destroy the flavor of the beef. Now, if you really have to have some extra kick, whatever it might be, there's a couple things you could do. You can use some coffee grounds and roll on the steak, or a decent seasoning, something that is going to add a little bit of essence. This is one that I like. It's just a thundering longhorn seasoning. Really good. You can find this actually at Walmart sometimes. I think I paid like $3 for this, maybe more, I don't know. Anyway, point is, good seasoning, good meat. You don't even need this. All I'm going to do is I'm going to salt this like crazy. Do not use salt right out of a shaker. You want to grind some sea salt onto this, and you're going to see that meat is just going to soak that salt in. Salt and beef are made for each other. Now, as Emerald Gossie used to say, we got to do it on both sides because we want it to taste good on both sides. And that is the truth. You need the salt to sink into that meat. Now, it's going to soak in like crazy. Don't be afraid to put a bunch of salt in there. Next thing I'm going to do is add some pepper. Same thing, just ground pepper. Now, I'm okay with putting garlic on it. If you like garlic, go garlic crazy. I'm actually going to melt a little bit of garlic butter and put over this here in just a moment, and then we're going to take it out to the pellet grill. Okay, before we go out to the grill, we're going to put the garlic butter on it. Once again, this product that you may have seen me use before, Chef Chamois. This is a Sam's Club product. It's like $8. This stuff is amazing. They have other flavors, but the garlic butter is an essential for your kitchen. So what I've done here, I've got about just over a tablespoon of it that I've melted down. In fact, I cheated and melted it in the microwave. You don't want to cook it too long because you'll burn the garlic. Now all we're going to do is just kind of let that fall over the steak, rub it in a little bit, roll it over on the other side, do the same thing. Let this rest for a few minutes, like 5 minutes probably, before you put it on the grill so that garlic can sink in. Also, I like to make sure I get the garlic around the sides. And you want the flavor everywhere. Alright? And the dog's looking forward to this because he's going to get the bone. Alright, so I'm at the pellet grill. You can see we got good smoke going on here. We'll just open it up so you can see. Nice and hot. Now this grill that I have is a Pit Boss 820, but it also has this little attachment on the side which lets you open it up and actually flame grill. I don't know if you can see that fire or not, but you're going to have to trust me, there is an open flame down there. So that's how we're going to reverse sear our meat. You can see the steak now, if I can get it in the camera. That garlic has settled on there, and I've given it about 5 minutes since you last saw it. The grill's sitting right at 400 degrees. Got some real good smoke. I've got a competition mix of pellets going on here. And we're just going to lay this, doesn't matter which side you start with, and you're going to hear it sizzle. Now, Secret to cooking good beef is understanding a few things. Number one, overcooked beef is useless. I personally prefer things rare to medium rare. For this particular steak, that's going to take a little bit of time. But rare is going to put you right about 120 to 125. Medium rare, 130 to 135. Usually not a big meat thermometer guy, but when you got a steak as big as this, a meat thermometer is a must. So we're going to put this probe in. And you can already see that fat is starting to liquefy around the outside. So what I want to do is go in through the fat side into the center of the steak as much as possible. Because that's going to give me a more accurate reading of the center of the steak. Something to keep in mind when you're cooking a steak this big is you're almost baking it. So you can't get in a hurry, you gotta let it cook. Right now, if you look at the temperature gauge, the inside of that steak is only sitting at about 60 degrees. And I don't want to turn it until it's at least 90. So let's give it a couple minutes and check on it. So I just looked, the temperature is sitting right at 85 degrees, so it's a good time to take a look. As we open this up, you're going to see the color of it started to look a little different. The fat consistency is different as well. So this is when you want to turn the meat. So all you got to do is literally turn it completely over. And you're going to see you're going to get a browning going on the other side. You don't want to overcook this, so we're going to stay very cognizant of the coloring and the consistency, but also remembering that in the dead center, this thing is still ice cold. Alright, I just checked the temperature. We're at about 115. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open the flue and let that reverse searing start. I'm going to turn my pellet grill all the way up to high. If you don't have a pellet grill or you don't have a searing point, this is the point when you would have a gas grill running and go ahead and lay it on that gas grill as hot as you can get it. All we're doing here is putting that final sear onto the steak and finishing it at the same time. So we're going to get that nice crispy outside crust, almost Pittsburgh-like. In fact, you could do it Pittsburgh-like. I'll show you how to do that in another episode. So I have reached the temperature I want, but I don't have all the crusting on it. So I'm going to turn it over and get that nice crusting on the other side too. The meat now at the dead center, at the thickest point, is sitting right about 135. So we're just entering that medium rare stage, not really, because you got to remember that's only one point in the steak. The dead center is going to be a little cooler, and along the bone line it's going to be a little cooler. So we're going to let this cook for just a couple more minutes with the door open, and then we'll take it off. So there is the tomahawk ribeye. I don't know if you hear my dog in the background. He's losing his mind because he knows that belongs to him. So we're going to just cut into this so you can see what this looks like when it's done. Now keep in mind, I like my meat very rare. But you can see, just in the time that we had that out there, how perfect that is on the inside. That is a perfect medium rare. And if you want it more done, I mean, that's your prerogative. I guess you can cook it that way. But whatever you do, I want you to enjoy great food. Join me next time. I love to cook. If you've got an idea, let me know what you'd like to see. I also love to make adult drinks and not so adult drinks. So if there's something you'd like to learn, let me know. Folks, a tomahawk steak not only makes you happy, it makes your dog happy. This is my 14-year-old Casey, and you can see he is quite content right now. Hope to see you again.